Alright guys, we're back with another add-on showcase here on my channel. We are doing the More Ores and Tools add-on today. As you can see, I'm standing between two different contrasting pairs of armor, and what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of run through everything they got in this add-on. There's quite a bit of stuff, so this one might take a bit of a minute. And yeah, without further ado, we'll just jump right into the mix, and hope you guys enjoy. So what we're going to start out with is we're going to start out with this table right here. This is basically the introductory table. What you need for it is the tablet pen and a couple of other things. Tablet pen, you literally just do this, click, page one, submit, and it just tells you all the fun stuff. I just said 3 times, but yeah, what you do, same thing, page two. As you can see, it's got quite a bit on it here. But essentially, I just wanted to kind of go over how it works. You guys can, take a look at all of it on your own time. This is just a showcase, don't want to give you everything. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it on the table of contents here. Go right into the codex book. And you can see that you have an ore codex, and it tells you how many ores you have discovered. Gives you all this stuff, you know, all this here, what you can, discover in the world, all the different ores. Obviously, there is 39, as the book said. So there's that. Close that out. Obviously, that's fairly simple. The tutorial book obviously shows you the presentation, you know, all this stuff here. If you want, take a second, read this. This is the basic introduction stuff that you'll see when you first load in the add-on. But yeah, if you guys want, pause the video here, just, read that introduction a bit. So, and obviously here you have the settings tool, but you do have to be an admin to do this. So that's unfortunate. And you do have some rope here. This is just for, all the other stuff, kind of basic necessity stuff. Put all this in here. A couple of other things to go over before we really get into the weapons. They do have a magnifying glass, so you can just kind of look in that. Doesn't really change the view much, but it's a cool little thing. And you can use these repair kits on any form of these weapons here. And you can, I believe, swap handheld lantern in there, and it will light up the area around you. I'm going to turn it to night just to check. Very, very dim, but you could definitely see it. So this is useful in caves and such. But yeah, without further ado, we will jump right into all of this other stuff here. I'm looking at the wrong chest. Obviously, they have a couple new things here, a couple amulets. Obviously, they have swords, the hammers, and yeah, as you can see here as well, they have different looks depending on the ore, depending on everything like that. Now, the special thing with these with these hammers is what you could do is that. So you can essentially take away an entire wall. 3 by 3. You can ignore that. That's going to be for a later video. But yeah, and with these amulets, what you could do is you could, I believe, put them here, and they can grant you kind of special effects. But they do have to be enchanted. So there's that as well. The enchanted amulets I will go over in a minute here. But, as you can see, like I said before, different looks, different kinds of stuff. Some of these have a very, very high amount of attack damage. Obviously, 7 attack damage for a hoe, and you got 12 attack damage for an osmium axe. Now, these are some of the different ores and stuff, and certain things you could get. These merchant jewels are obtained from the, I believe there is a wandering trader that can give you these. it comes in with the standard game Wandering Trader. So you could use these jewels. You could trade ores for these jewels, and you could trade these jewels for more valuable ores. It's a bit complicated at first, but at the same time, once you get the hang of it, it's fairly easy. As you can see here, all this enchanted stuff. This is the stuff you would make the enchanted amulets with, and what you would do, these four here specifically, what you would do is you would enchant it with a certain thing, or it would come out with a certain enchantment, and it would just kind of benefit you in a different way. As you can see here, there's another enchanted ore. But there's also all these different ores, opal, black opal, yellow diamond, red, purple, pink, orange, green. And obviously there are the non-enchanted versions of said ores as well, the garnet. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, or the fire opal. Blue garnet, obviously, the enchanted spinel, the sapphire, iridium, lead, nickel, orichalc, osmium, palladium, platinum, rhodium, ruthenium, aluminum, bronze, chrome, cobalt, adamantite, tungsten, aluminum, titanium, stainless steel. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in this one, but these are just some of them. We got some more down here, sulfur, raw cassiterite, raw adamantine, tungsten scrap, titanium scrap, some of the raw stuff here, raw lead, raw nickel, raw orichalcium, raw osmium, raw palladium, raw platinum, raw rhodium, raw ruthenium, raw cobalt, raw chrome, and raw aluminum. But yeah, these are some of the obviously some of the basic stuff you can find. Obviously, adds different sticks to different weapons. It can add more durability, all that. Adamantine, tungsten, aluminum, titanium, stainless steel, iron, and bronze. Obviously, each stick goes with each class of weapon and just all that fun stuff. But yeah, on to the next stage. Obviously, we went through the weapons, all this stuff down here. Went through all this stuff. Went through this. We went through the table. I'm going to make it day real quick just to get us a good view. Okay, as you see here, we got the palladium, obviously a nice shade of green with the palladium sword. We got the platinum, looks like a reddish little tin. Obviously, the palladium sword has a different, grip to it on the side there. Obviously, this looks really, really well done. The black diamond has a nice, kind of shine to it with a nice black diamond sword. I particularly like the sword because of how the little guard is at the side there. It like kind of goes out and then comes up. So definitely one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, absolutely, is the osmium. You see the nice osmium axe right there. Osmium, full armor set, looks really, really well done. And yeah, obviously each of these swords is going to have different, attack damages and stuff. The sapphire one is a little wonky looking because it just got like the dots. But I do like the sapphire pickaxe, excuse me, because it's got the little different little design on the front top there. But yeah, obviously they're all very, very, very well done looking. Obviously the adamantite, obviously like a warrior's garments here. As you can see, you got the shovel, obviously with a different design, a longer, I guess, shovel blade, you'd call it. But yeah, obviously adamantite, one of the stronger armor types or armor classes in the game. And here we have one of the diamonds, the red diamond. As you see, it's got the shine all around it. Obviously, it looks very, very well done. As you can see, you got the red diamond hoe here. Very, very nice on the design there with the hoe. It looks obviously new. As you can see here, it's got a different colored stick. So probably uses what looks like an iron stick. But it definitely brings, brings new looks to the weapons, new looks to armor, and all that. But these are just some of the armor. I feel like I put out kind of my favorites here. But yeah, obviously this is not even close to however many there can be. So yeah, we're just going to move on to some of the other stuff that they've got here. Obviously, you got the forage table, which I have to be in survival to use, so just bear with me a quick second. Wrong button. Creative, no survival. Okay. As you see here, what you could do is it's probably the forge table. What you could do is you could put certain ingots together. Obviously, you can make the sticks in this table. You know, certain other stuff as well. Some of these other stuff is obviously quite expensive, especially the adamantite stick, the tungsten as well. The lead is not half bad. It's a stainless steel that looks difficult. What you need is obviously just the chrome and regular iron, but the chrome is one of the more rarer resources in this game, which obviously is fine. You just have to find it. But with the magic table, what you could do is you can make these certain amulets, and the rope I had before is obviously used for said amulets. And you could obviously enchant certain ingots. You would just need orichalcum and obviously the spinel to make the enchanted versions. Now, what these enchanted stuff can do is obviously in that table, you would just have to kind of look and find out. I'm just gonna. So I don't think there's anything else here. No. Okay. But yeah, all this just kind of basic stuff within each table. The builder table, obviously, what you could do is you could just build all these blocks. You can all the blocks and stuff, all the ores you have, and you could obviously just break it down. The tungsten scraps as well, the raw adamantite. All this other stuff can be done at this table. But yeah, this table is obviously just fairly simple. So I do like the looks of these tables, however. The armory table obviously makes sense. Armory stuff, building all this, all the weapons, all the armor, all that. And as you see here, got the amethyst with the iron sticks, the black opal with the titanium sticks. So it definitely depends on what you want to build. So, but the black diamond's definitely looking really, really well done. As you can see, there's different, crafting recipes, all that. Well, it makes sense, but um, definitely the point I'd like to, definitely something I like to point out. The hammers are probably one of the more, I don't want to say one of the more useful, but one of the newest additions that would come with this. So I definitely say that you should invest in a good hammer if you want to start, playing the game with this add-on. But yeah, fairly simple stuff here, obviously. But we're just gonna go look at some of the ores here. The titanium. This is what you'd see. The lead obviously looks like a misshapen coal. The osmium, the rhodium obviously looks like a little adjusted iron. The adamantite obviously blood red. Found in the depths of the darkest parts of the world. Probably the lowest ore you could find. Obviously the lazurite here looks like a misshapen lapis lazuli, which I think that's what it's probably based on. And obviously the fire opal. I believe you can find certain parts of these in the nether as well. The fire opal makes the most sense. Adamantite, obviously, the lazurite, and then the spinel. I'm sure you could find this in the nether as well. But yeah, that's probably going to be it. Each of these ores does have this, different look about them. As you can see, they're all individuals. But yeah, this add-on was, obviously fairly simple, adding a bunch of new armor, a bunch of new ores, some new crafting, and yeah, if when you first spawn in, you do spawn with this table, and it gives you the full loadout, obviously. So all this stuff I've been, explaining to you is gonna be within the table, but I also didn't want to spend 30 to 40 minutes going through everything in the table. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this add-on, be sure to let me know in the comments and let me know like, hey, yo, I started playing with this. It looks very nice. Some of that stuff. But if you enjoyed the mod showcase or the add-on showcase, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll hit everybody back. You guys take care. You start playing with this, you let me know, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.